Well, that's crazy, guys. Today is the last day. Okay, no, it's the second to last day, but this is the last video you're going to see me cleaning the windows in Mexico. That was the last one we're staying at before Guatemala. We're going to make our ways to Bruno, which is Cowboy Ranch, right at the border. I mean, it's on the border. My phone actually even said when I was at his ranch property that he hopes to expand into an RV place for people to come and stay at. My phone kept bouncing between Mexico and Guatemala, so that is something for you guys to be aware of. First, before we get into the budgets, we're just going to, today while I'm talking, we're also going to see what it takes to change the propane in this van. I was checking with him to make sure that he had the right fittings before I took it out. It's not the easiest thing to do with our van, but that propane will last us 3 months. I am going to improve it, and what also made it harder is the Topas, the huge speed bumps of Mexico. Hitting those at high speeds, you know, they crack the windshield like they do. But they also cause the bed to bounce down as well. Because I developed the rolling system kind of in a somewhat of a rush by myself. I know some ways I'm going to prove it. But yeah, so the bed broke loose. I had to fix that as well. So yeah, that's one of my hiding spots. I'm going to share that with you because I don't use it all the time. But it's just one of the ones we had. It's good to have money quick and close by, especially when you're going through toll roads. I counted it up. Out of the ones I recorded and kept the receipts for, there were 40 tolls. 40 tolls. Can you believe that? So yeah, that was an expense for us. That was $155 just in tolls. That was like, I didn't expect that. Maybe other people research and know that. You know, I did this whole going through Mexico with I did a lot of research and I didn't do any at the same time. Like I planned where I was going to stay, but I didn't plan my journey through it. I just had my destinations of where I was sleeping. And this is one of the ones I was most excited about getting to today. And I see why now. And it's going to be an awesome asset for all of us travelers out there. It's cool. I was introducing him into the electronic valve, the ball valve we use, because he was like, why are you leaving it open? So yeah, as you saw, after we filled it up, we spray checked it, made sure it was all safe, and he verified it was good too. Showing him where was that intent, where we came from. We have a map hanging up front, and yeah, it's always fun to just talk to locals. And well, speaking Spanglish, he's very understanding. And he was even showing some of the other people that was working there. So to fill up there, it cost 150 pesos. So that was like nothing. I was super happy about that. Let's get back to what is the cost of traveling through Mexico. Again, we did it in a rush, so there's a lot we did not get to see. But what it cost us to get there was in fuel to do roughly 2,000 miles. That's leaving the Arizona border and then arriving in the Guatemala border. Roughly 2,000 miles. It was 8,900 pesos, which is an intimidating number. Using today's numbers of translations, at 23 pesos equal $1 US. Oh, side note, you gotta use the trash cans at gas stations. That's how we do van life, so we don't have to worry about keeping up with too much trash. It's an easy way to get rid of it. This guy has a lot of weight and he's booking it, so it's kind of fun watching him as I talk. But fuel, so yeah, 8,900 pesos or 400 US dollars. Fuel is, yeah, not bad. So fuel and your toll rolls, you're at 155 US dollars. So roughly 600 US dollars is what those two things are. But you know, we also did a little bit of entertainment. We went to a couple of rooms, got some photos made, which all of that, and seeing the crater, all that came out to be less than $5. So that was pretty awesome. Next expense that I got on the list is food. I snacked at all these like road stops and tried out things that they had, and I only spent 40 US dollars for everything. Then for food, I've got the mechanical. So that's us buying a transmission filter, oil, and a filter, and him working at it. It was only $110. I'm going to show you a couple photos of Lupe, Don Bruno's wife, the restaurant, and where you can eat at. You're going to get a phenomenal breakfast on the day you leave and a phenomenal supper on the day you arrive. They're very fair pricing. They actually spent a lot of time in the States. I think like 17 years they was there. But they are an awesome resource because they are at the border. Like that photo there, you're looking at Guatemala mountains. So when you're there, your phone will bounce between both signals, between Mexico and Guatemala, just so you are aware, depending on what SIM card you have, that may or may not be an issue for you. So this area right here is very special to me because this is the part of Mexico that I went to on a mission trip, which is when I decided to propose to Rachel. So this is like a pretty special place for us and did not plan it. Speaking of things that planned, this lady here, these triangles will just hang in a tree. I don't think she normally sells them. I think that she uses them for attention grabs. But I heard you needed them in in Guatemala. I don't think that's a valid point. I never showed them to any officer, security, immigration. I never showed them, but they was good to have, and they was only $5. When it was broken, by that I mean it didn't have the weights to stand up, but it still was a functioning triangle. So I'm glad I bought them. But yeah, just starting to drive and see all this greenery. You see that sign I just crossed under. Turn around, save yourself the headache of going through these alleys like I did. What's funny is when I was on a mission trip, we actually came this way, got to the border, and we just walked across, did some shopping. I bought me a Mexico jersey, came back, no stamp was needed. But this time, I wanted to do everything right. So I checked in, talked to these guys, and they told me I passed it already. And I've got to drive back down through all of that. So pay attention in this next clip, what I'm fixing to tell you. Could save you some time.
Doing the big pharmacy sign, either like me and you went too far the first time. So once you see this sign, you better have this stamp or you'll have to go back for it. It's only like 30 seconds back that way, not even that, 10 seconds. Like the first building on the right, it's like white with a little bit of green and red, the Mexico colors. So I passed this building on the way in, so right at this where you see the big awning, you should pull over and go to the I&M location and get your passport stamp that you are leaving the country. Yeah, I'm new to all this, so I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily, he spoke good Spanish or good English and was able to help me through everything. But now let's go back to Guatemala, and hopefully my English speaking guy is still there. So once you get across, it's not too bad. The fumigation costs 38 quetzals. I don't know the translation right on top of the head right now. Money, I'm still getting used to it. But those people out front standing, they're going to be honest. One guy did try to short me some money on swapping money, but then I corrected him. He said no problem. And then after you get that, get your little money. So 38 quetzals for your fumigation, then 160 quetzals for the vehicular. And to do that, you have to go to this building, and then after you talk to them, you'll walk around to the other side and you will deal with immigration as well. Come back over to this building. After you talk to them for a little while, they'll send you into the bank right there, and that is where you will pay, and then you will go back to here. So it's a pretty simple process. It took maybe 40 minutes. I didn't really get a time. You could go faster or slower depending on weight and your speed, but things went pretty smoothly, I think. And now let's get to driving to the next destination.
Alright guys, thanks for joining us through Mexico. We're going to take a break from publishing the Guatemala videos, and I'm going to do some build outs and a van tour and some stuff that we've been doing on the side as well, and then we're going to come back to the travel side. But I want to get some other things out that are just kind of one-offs of cool builds I've done, some of our van tips that people's been asking about. So those would be our next series, and then we'll get back to Guatemala. Thanks for subscribing.